time introducing the show today. Complex is like testing the alarm systems while we're trying to film the show today. That's how they treat us here at Complex.
Upper management.
Upper management, man. Jesus, how you guys doing?
Hey, they're trying to make sure we safe, yo. It's a lot of crazy things going on in the world, okay?
Fire is the only thing I'm not worried about.
Yeah, shit. As long as we can make sure some security downstairs and that we could be a little bit safe, I ain't mad at security or even the fire people to make sure that you don't think it's gonna be all right.
Somebody on you, I guess something. Like, I'm kind of scared.
Nigga, you ain't been watching the news?
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying,
fires?
somebody on you though, like.
No, nigga.
Right.
When I'm in public these days, after seeing what I've been seeing on the news, listen, I want all the precautions taken. All the precautions.
Heard you.
I'm sorry.
All right, man. Let's start with some music today. All right, so if you're a rap fan forever and ever until the end of time, you're going to be debating the greatest rappers of all time. So a podcast called The Brew made their own list of the top 50 greatest rappers of all time. Went super viral yesterday because a lot of people had questions, comments about the ranking. So we can't name all 50, but we're going to throw it up on the screen. Of course, you can find this on Twitter. But their top 3 of all time, let's start there. Jay, Nas, and Joe Budden. So people pointed out that female MCs were missing for the list, but a lot of rappers like Lloyd Banks, Joe, Biggie, Black Thought were trending throughout the day. Guys, shall we start with the top 3?
Yeah. No, top 3. Like, when I first see this, I made a joke. I said, man, like, who made this list? Did Rory wanted to make this list? But like, I don't think that the list now. Everybody that's on the list is the right like people,
right,
but it's just ranked like horribly wrong. I think like this list is just ranked horribly wrong. I think to have like Tupac as 15 is crazy, right? To have Fab as number 6 is crazy. Like, I mean, it's all the best like rappers. There's a lot of the best rappers, but I just think that, but it's their list. I can't tell them this.
Crazy as in, you think Pac is too low or too high?
I think he's Pac should be in the top 5. Like,
Pac is he's under Redman.
Yeah, like
Love
Pac should
Redman,
be.
but I don't think that makes
Pac
sense.
is after Rakim, like, which that's a whole nother conversation I've had before. But like Pac should be way above that, like way above that.
Drake is number 23. How do you feel about that?
I mean, listen, Drake aside, we'll get to that, but I had a hard time. You know, when you start talking rap lists with people who you might even consider, well, number one, people who you respect their opinion with rap music, period. Or maybe even people who you consider rap aficionados and you believe that they have a good grasp of knowledge and a good background and history in terms of being able to rank a list. I always look at any list and I say, are we ranking off of skill or I just say overall artistry? Very different list if we're ranking one or the other. I'm not mad if Pac is down there if we're only ranking off of rapping skills. Okay? But if we're rapping, no, not rapping. If we're ranking just overall rappers, I have a huge problem with it.
Interesting.
Right? So, like, I'm looking through this list, and I think that's where, you know, this Salute to this podcast, I don't know if they made this, like, on some facetious shit, or they were like, yo, let's just go viral, or, yo, we really believe this. I just can't find the basis for where this was created. The only thing I could think of, going through the top 10, I was like, Jay-Z, Nas, Joe Budden,
so if you're going
Cosby,
just
Black
skill or just artistry, does it make sense in either
a New York nigga made this shit. That's facts.
And who cares who made it? So you think that Pac, now while Pac might have not had like the best, I say that Pac didn't have like the best intangible skill. Like he didn't have like metaphors and like double entendres and shit. But you think that even with those stipulations, he should be ranked 15. Like, this nigga had a song about everything. Everything.
But that's what I'm saying. If we're judging, like, overall artistry, we're talking about song making, this and the
I mean, all of it has to go in together.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. So, in that case, Pac's number 1 for me, right? But if we're just judging rapping skills...
So then does the list make sense to you if you're just judging rapping
all
skills?
All right, just rapping skills. Jay makes sense. Nas makes sense. Honestly, I know a lot of people were really surprised at Joe. I don't know if he's top 3.
He can rap though.
But if someone had him in the top 10, I ain't that mad, right? Black Thought, Styles P, Fab, Jada Kiss. That's where I'm thinking, again, loosely, because I'm not saying this is completely ordered correctly. But then I'm only mentioning this to discuss the Pac.
And then Lil
Pac
Wayne,
point, right?
We're talking just rap skill. Wayne is 37.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
Does that make sense?
Pac, do I think Pac raps better than Common, Lupe,
Andre?
Royce? Like
Beanie Siegel?
Like, no, I don't think he raps better than them. Do I think he, overall, his artistry, at least...
But I mean, the thing, nobody, when people make these lists, we're not putting up all these like nutrition facts, like, you know what I mean, of what it takes to make the list. Let's just take it as what it is. Like, when I'm thinking of this, I'm not thinking about these niggas spitting acapellas. I'm thinking about like their overall catalog, music, just period. Like what they mean to the game. Like if you 50 greatest all time is what you mean to the game.
Okay, all right, and that's what I was gonna say. What does your top 50 or your top 5?
50 is too much for me to even fucking think about. That's a lot.
It could be a top 5 or because you know a lot of people have a lot of the same top 4.
Yeah.
Let's say just say top 10. What does that mean to you? And if we're going with that criteria you're stating, now the list seems flagrantly just out of bounds. Like, salute to Joe and I love him, but what the fuck, he's 3? And then you start looking at it like, Styles P's 4. Is Styles P 4 on your list?
Styles P is not 4 on my list, but Styles P is one of the greatest fucking people to put words together ever on this planet.
Okay.
But he's not my top 4. Now look, my top 5 changes, like my 3 kind of stays the same.
Who's the 3?
My 3 is Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas. Okay. Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas.
Where does Pac fit?
Pac 4th. I always put Pac 4th, and then my 5th always changes. Like for a long time, my 5th was Andre 3000, and I just had to accept the fact that this nigga was not gonna rap anymore. So then I started putting Kanye.
Where's Rakim on?
Rakim is not. He's not in my like top 10 because Rakim, and I'm not taking nothing away from Rakim, but when Rakim was making music, I was in kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and not to say that I can't appreciate his music, but Jadakiss music mean more to me than Rakim's music. Styles P music mean more to me than Rakim music. Not to take nothing away from Rakim, but when I was a kid, I was one of those kids that was like, man, I'm not trying to hear that shit. This is what I'm listening to. So my list, like, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if I can make 10. Like,
Snoop being 34 is blasphemous.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Come on now. Like,
there's been a lot of Snoop disrespect.
Is right behind Jeezy. Love Jeezy. But come on, man. Snoop, bro.
There's been a lot of Snoop disrespect.
Snoop has traversed so many eras. That nigga was the guy for like a good like 10. And again, you know.
Oh, go ahead.
What we consider the guy might change, but he was that conversation, and also just the span of his career to have him at 34. Shit.
Big Pun at 44 is disrespectful. Big Pun at 44 is disrespectful. I'm gonna keep it all the way real.
At the game at 45.
Yeah, Big Pun at.
Nah, I don't rock with that. I don't rock with that. Like, honestly, like, and I have
can't get it out.
Okay, no, I have game over like even Twister. Like Method
Man. Of course, I got game over. I got game over Twister too.
Okay, and then Method Man, like being a 27, I feel that's like kind of like all the way fucked.
It depends. I don't know. It depends. That's what I'm saying. This is hard to even go through, and we going through this right now in real time. Like, this is hard to go through. Like,
so I think I look at this list, and if it wasn't ranked, I would look at it and be like, decent pool of people. We could argue. Without it being ranked, decent pool of people. The rankings fuck it up, because now you're getting into the mind and probably also the thinking of what these guys, or I'm guessing it's these guys because they have a podcast, were thinking when they were creating this list. And then you start seeing, wait, so you value this person over this person? Like, listen, just look at Wayne. He's ranked 37. And I look at a lot of people above him, and I'm like, even just off skill-wise, I rank him above, but just even if we're looking at his career span, if we're looking at his overall skill set, just beyond just bars, I just can't imagine that Wayne is ranked 37 on this list.
Yeah, I can't, like, all right. Because if we're judging this list, I'm looking at a lot of these people and I'm going by their albums. And a lot of people in here don't have, like, a lot of memorable albums. Like, Wayne, to be 37, has better albums than a lot of the people that he's ranked after, right? Like, while there's a lot of people in here that rap really well and are dope rappers, I don't think that everybody here has had like dope albums that mean something. Like a few of them got classics. A lot of people in here got classics, but like their ranking. But it's their list. That's why I can't knock it.
It's completely opinion based. So are we debating this for no reason? Basically?
We're debating it for no reason, but it's good conversation. though. I ain't gonna lie. It's definitely good conversation.
Honestly, I think this should just set ablaze when niggas seen Joe Budden. And you gotta realize Joe Budden, and you gotta realize a lot of the newer generation who are now trying to get into the rap debate conversation. Primarily these days, they know Joe for like podcasts and stuff. Right?
Yeah.
So they may look like, whoa, you get me? And then, like there's a huge segment of the population that holds Pac. Like they revere him at a certain level and they're like, whoa, he's here, shit. Some of them.
Placement. It's the placement of a lot of this shit.
It's a placement.
It's the placement. Like,
and also, some of it's trolly. Like, you got Rick Ross and 50 Cent right after each other. Come on now.
So I'm saying, I
Come
feel like
on
they're
now.
just
Yeah,
Like, come on now. Like, you have
joking. It worked,
Rick Ross
though.
47,
It's good promo
and
for
you got by the way, why do people think I made this shit? Because I tweeted it out and some shit. I thought, no, it's great conversation, but it's interesting to see where people, like, their values lied when they were either trying to say this is wild or whatever it is.
We want to hear the explanation. Is there an explanation that goes with this? Like hearing them debate or give their reasoning would add a little bit more context to it. But one fan did point out that in this pool of 50, you guys said it's a great pool of rappers, which it is. There are no female MCs mentioned. Do you feel like no females deserve to be in this conversation?
Absolutely, females deserve to be in this conversation. I'm throwing Missy in there. I'm throwing Trina in there. Queen Latifah, MC Lyte. If we going all the way back, Lauryn Hill, Nicki. It's so many. Foxy, Kim. Like it's so many that you could go off of. I mean, you can go for days. There's tons of females that deserve to be in the top 50 list.
Right.
Yeah. Lauryn Hill, Nicki not being in this is
Crazy.
It's
crazy.
It's like blasphemous.
Crazy.
At least one or two, actually probably even more, should be mentioned, especially when we're seeing some of the names where, again, we're taking into account that the list isn't just off, number one, just skill, right? Because that explains why, we have certain people on there that have increased skill set maybe in song making, but maybe not rapping. And for that, why is Missy now on the list, right?
Shit,
of course.
Trina.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people who are definitely missing. So, yeah, I think they made this list halfway to troll, but halfway because they believe it. There's an East Coast bias here. The top 10 is stacked with East Coast rappers. Snoop, a nigga who's they got Kendrick from the West, but like
I'm saying, if we going fucking rappers, right? Why Ludacris ain't in here? Ludacris can rap, like, you know what I mean? Take away all the I'm talking about pre Fast and Furious Ludacris, like, you know what I mean? Like, why the fuck is Ludacris not in here if we talking rap? There's a lot of rappers, like.
And then the podcast is called Brew Podcast. I didn't look up the individuals, but it sounded is it white?
No, I just checked, and the picture I saw, it looks like they're all black.
Okay.
But
okay.
I want to
glad
confirm
you
this
just
later.
checked.
I think.
No, they're definitely black because trust me, a group of white dudes discussing hip hop would definitely not have Eminem at 28. Trust me on that. Trust me on that one. Okay, their Caucasian pass would be revoked.
From Cincinnati, Ohio, if I'm looking at the right.
And by the way, like Eminem ain't no motherfucking 28, bro. Like
I know Eminem ain't no 28.
I know, like, we've been critical of him and shit like that, but god damn it, man. Like, listen, even if you don't have me in your top 5, if you don't have me in your top 10, it's like, man, what are you doing?
Gentlemen of the Brew, thank you for this cute list, but we have some questions. Why are there no females? Like, was this purely opinion-based? Why is Eminem so low? Why is Wayne so low? A lot of questions for you guys. We want answers. Thank you.
Listen, other than Kendrick, is Drake and J. Cole, they made the top 25.
Yeah, but do you like that Drake is at 23? He's in your top 10, I assume.
Nah.
He's not.
Nah.
Okay.
He
just went off on a whole tirade while we were sitting here about Drake giving out stimulus packages.
Drake not your top 10 all time.
What?
This is what I'm saying.
You
like
wildin'. Listen, you're wildin'. Drake is not top 10 all time.
After that whole speech you gave us
all
20
time?
minutes ago.
Relax. Look at y'all. Look at y'all. Y'all excited. Wait, no. In reality, That's what I'm saying. What is this list based off?
Oh, Jesus.
If we're talking about
Goodness
if Pac's #1 because I'm going on some overall shit,
Akademiks.
Drake is 100%
yes,
top
if we're
10. But if we're just straight going off,
stop with the just skill
rapping,
conversation. We're not talking about just skill. If you're saying greatest, it encompasses everything. We're not saying the most lyrical rapper of all time.
They top 5. What y'all talking about?
All right, man.
What you talking about?
What's wrong with you?
No, because sometimes, you know why?
Jesus.
Because like out of respect for the like the Nas's and shit like that. You feel me? And like I love Nas.
Right? That's dope that Lloyd Banks made it. That's dope that Lloyd Banks made it. That's dope.
This is all over the place, man.
That's dope. That's really dope.
This motherfucker who made this list, the highlight of their life was like the early 2000s, bro. Like, real talk. Look at the niggas they got on this list.
Cam is on here.
Everybody, mad niggas who had their peak at early 2000s.
If you're saying they had a super East Coast bias, I feel like Cam wouldn't be at 35.
Why? If that's the case, then why the fuck is Mace on there?
Dipset hater.
No, listen, why is Mace on there then if it's early 2000s? Mace ain't do nothing in the early 2000s.
That's why he's that low. That's why he's that low.
But he shouldn't be on there.
Yeah, but that's why he's that low. They're from New York.
They're not. They're
Harlem.
from Ohio.
Fake New Yorkers. You know what I mean? So come on, I'm telling you, man.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you.
All right, you ready to talk about an album? Are you done?
Let's do it.
Come on, Ak. Final thoughts. I see it.
Final thoughts, man, because you going to drag it. Come on, Ak.
Drake top 5 all time. If we just talk about overall shit.
Stop with the disclaimers.
All right,
no.
go on.
I got to do disclaimers.
All right, man. So on Friday, Lil Durk dropped his album Love Songs for the Streets 2. This is a sequel to his 2017 mixtape. 16 tracks on this with features from Nicki, Meek, 21 Savage, A Boogie, and more. Production by Jalil Beats, Boy Wonder, and others. He also got on Twitter to remind us that he's technically #1. So sales reports are coming in early. He said, Drake doesn't count. That's Drake, so I'm really #1. Like we said, man, he re-released old songs and shot up to the top of the charts because he's top 5 of all time, right, Akademiks? So what did you guys think of this Durk project?
I'll go first. What I thought about it, I like to describe Durk in one word, and I say tenacious. Like, he's very tenacious. I think that Durk is the epitome of, like, not giving up. You know what I mean? Not giving up. Because when you look at the whole drill movement and early shit, that was, what, 8 years ago? 9 years ago almost when they kind of got into the game. A lot of those guys didn't last. You know what I mean? A lot of them are still out here, but a lot of them didn't last. And it's like Durk has become a full-on artist. Top to bottom, I really fuck with this project. I love Like That with King Von. That's my favorite joint off of there. Joint Die Slow with 21 Savage is hard. Thoroughbred is hard. Weirdo Hoes is OD dope too. I think that like Durk has found his space, and for him to just throw this out and to do the numbers that he's doing, it shows that like he's really here to stay. Like he's not going nowhere.
Hey, the last year and a half, I ain't gonna lie, Durk's music is like, not that it was never knocking before, but it's like a new, he's found like a new source of like energy. Like it feels more street. I'm gonna credit a lot of that with him linking up with King Von. King Von, who is an artist, I believe he's signed to Durk. Like, he got Durk on some shit. But Durk, I think also, you know, I've seen how Durk is kind of like, he relied a lot on auto-tune, especially since he got like one of his first big hits, L's Anthem, off auto-tune, and this ain't what you want. And he kind of left that, using your natural voice type of thing. But like, especially with these love songs for the streets projects, I think he's kind of found that sweet spot, and he's hitting on all cylinders. Like some of the songs that you like, I love too. Of course, the one with King Von, Die Slow with 21 Savage. Like, if anybody's familiar with Durk and where he comes from, it's very interesting how he's like really describing some real life issues, but not in a drill type of way. It's like a more up-to-date, a more almost mainstream approach, but still mad street in terms of what he's talking about. You know, rest in peace, Newski, which is his cousin. He talked about on that song. Yeah. And 21 Savage is hard as a motherfucker. And Locked Up, I like that shit. You know, like Durk is one of those people, if you ever talk to him or if you ever hear his music, you know, him just like G Herbo, they carry the weight of a lot of people who they came up with, whether they're deceased or locked up. They keep their memory alive through their music. Like, it's always dope to see how Durk does it. You know, like if you're from New York, you see how French does it with like Max B. Durk always doing that. You know, Salute to Ronald Number 9 and a few others that's locked up. The joint A Boogie, I like that joint. I thought it could have been more because when A Boogie about to come on track, I'll be expecting all type of shit. I love the joint with him and Nicki. I ain't gonna lie. I love the joint with him and Nicki. Weirdo Hoes I like. The joint with him and Meek, Bougie. Yeah. You know, Meek is body and shit this year too, like as features. I thought he body tapped. Love that, but I ain't gonna lie. He's the memorable part on that. And I thought he came in to set the tone of the track with this one really well. Overall, yo, this project is where Durk is at, and that's why, you know, I lamented when he got locked up because he's found his stride, he's found his place, and, you know, he's expected to do some great numbers. He's winning right now. And I ain't gonna lie, this is one of the hardest albums out right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's facts.
Fuck with it.
All right. Shout out to Durk. Congratulations. We're going to go through some more music. So, look, a lot of times when we talk about singles here, it kind of falls flat. Maybe one or both of them is not really feeling the song. So we have a new segment called Brick, Hit, or Wait on It. That way we can run through them more quickly if you're not particularly feeling these songs. We have a good variety today. Let's start with Bop. So this is Tyga's new single featuring YG and Blueface, production by Mustard. So it's his first new single since he released his album Legendary in June. So Brick, Hit, or Wait on It? Wait, no. I
say wait on it. Because the thing about it is it gives a dope like West Coast like type feel. I watched the video, like the video is really dope. But I think it's something you gotta wait on. It's not something that immediately, you know what I mean, you know it's gonna be a go. And sometimes like those type of records, if it's not worked properly, falls a little bit flat. But it's a cool record, but I say wait on it.
All right, Ak.
Brick, shit's generic. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, you know, we're used to Tyga with these strip club anthems, and you know, I think those even got a little bit stale. Especially, you know, he had great success with Taste, but this particular record, I'm just not feeling like that. I think YG's on the hook with the bop, like it just felt.
You got a verse on it.
Yeah, but the hook, it just felt flat. And again, I think niggas just throwing Blueface on anything because they're hoping like, you know, he could kind of like do the shock factor thing. I don't even think niggas really think like he's just gonna kick a real good verse. I just think that this is it looks good on paper, but it don't sound too good. Okay. So I'm saying Brick.
Okay. Song number 2, Countdown from Snoop. So he has a new album coming up called I Wanna Thank Me. So this one is produced by Swizz, featuring Swizz. First single from the project, Brick, Hit, Wait on It, Ak.
I'm gonna say Wait on It. And I like the song, but I think it'll do well more over time. And it kind of reminds me of when I first heard what's the name of that shit?
Drop It Like It's Hot?
No.
Right.
No. Even though there's authentic West Coast vibes to the song, clearly, there's even a sample in it. But when I heard Swizz and Wayne with the...
Pistol on My Side?
Yeah, well that, but also they did the other one. What's it?
It's Me Bitches?
No, the fuck, they had a challenge for it.
Oh, right, the recent
one. What the fuck, though?
Yeah, exactly. And again, I remember when I heard that, I was like, all right, cool. Let's see how that kind of plays out. And I think the nostalgic approach for that worked. And I think with this, you know, like, this is sounding like vintage Snoop, like it usually does when Snoop is in his bag. And, you know, Swizz Beatz adds his flavor to it. So I say wait on it. It'll grow on us.
I say hit. I watch, there's videos for all of these records. I wish we could play videos up here like we used to, but I know, right?
But, we just gotta act legal.
We gotta mute it, right?
Good luck, yeah.
Some crazy shit. But I think it's hit. I call it a hit because like when you see Snoop, how far he's come in his career, like Snoop is a grandfather. Like Snoop is a grandfather. He got shows with Martha Stewart. He got a new record with Swizz Beatz, and they got Low Riders and all that shit. I think it's a hit for Snoop. And it's on his label, it's on Doggy Style. So I think that's definitely a hit.
All right, this is actually a perfect way to look back in a few months and see who is more accurate.
Okay.
Great. All right, so the next one, this is Migos, Yachty, and Gucci on Intro. This is a new Quality Control single from the upcoming project, Control the Streets, Volume 2.
I'm curious to see what Axe thinks about this.
I'm gonna say wait on it. Don't really like this record that much, but to be honest, like you're in the QC machine, you just can't lose. Like there's how the cheat go. So in reality, I don't particularly like this record a lot, but I believe it's gonna work because once this gets mixed in with all the other stuff, and you know it's QC, so they're gonna come with Baby, they're gonna come with a Yachty single. You know, Gucci's pretty much like an honorary member, right? It's like kind of 2 Chainz with what's that conglomerate with like good music, yeah. And with that, I think this song will probably pick up more over time as the focus shifts to the QC project. You get me? So I say wait on it.
I say, Brick hit or wait on it. I think I'm gonna have to wait on this one too. But while I do like it a lot, I don't think it's intended to be like a big single. But I think we should wait on this. I think this is just a setup for the album. You know, not looking for it to be like top 10 and no shit like that. You know what I mean? They all just rapping on it, going back and forth.
Yeah.
It's dope. And then Yachty talks tons of shit at the end of it. But I fuck with it though.
All right, so this last one might not fit so neatly into any of these categories, but we have to highlight this. So Rapsody's getting ready to drop a new album called Eve. Got to hear some of the songs on this. She's going to be highlighting a lot of really dope, influential women. First single is called Ibtihaj, produced by Ninth Wonder, featuring GZA and D'Angelo.
Hit. I love it. What I really liked about this, I watched this video as well, and Rapsody had a lot of like girls in their hijabs, you know what I mean, running around. She had like them doing fencing. It was just different. I mean, they used the sample. It's a sample if you're a hip hop head, you know from Liquid Swords, GZA, that's a classic album. And then she has GZA on it. She got Mary J. Blige in the video. I think with Rapsody, like with the type of music she puts out, this is a hit, undeniable for her.
Right, and so she's honoring the first woman who wore the hijab, Muslim woman playing in the Olympics for the U.S.
I forgot her name. I follow her on Instagram. I forgot her name. I know her last name is Muhammad, but she's, yeah, very dope. But yeah,
I'm gonna say wait on it. I understand this is like a single type record for Rapsody, but to see how it performs, I think this has a potential to do good, just outside of just what we expect from her, just like say just mainstream whatever. And I think we just have to see how this kind of develops in place. So I say wait on it.
Let's go Rapsody. I'm ready for some Rapsody music. It's been, what, 2 years since her album, right?
Time is flying.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on my Beats One show this week. Check that out. Friday,
lit.
3 p.m. All right, so Chance the Rapper dropped his debut album, The Big Day. Has it already been a couple of weeks? Some people really like the album, but of course there were a lot of memes and jokes about it being too much about love and him loving his wife very specifically. So in a series of tweets yesterday, he said he was disappointed. He felt people were trying to shame him for declaring his love for his wife on the project, and then explained how the jokes and reactions have been affecting him. He said, "I'm getting this crazy feeling that people want me to kill myself. That's not my vibe at all, but I feel the push, and I feel like even more than that, some people want me to feel ashamed." He did eventually go on to thank people who were texting him and supporting him. He shouted out Yachty, and then he did add, "I just want to reiterate that I don't want to kill myself, nor am I ashamed of loving my wife. I just think I wanted to say out loud and say that out loud and see the vibes." The criticism has been kind of harsh, or at least the jokes, but I don't know, you guys know how the internet is. Are you like surprised that it's affected her?
Turn that shit off. Just turn it off. Like, turn it off.
But it's hard when it's like all this build up and it's your debut album. You want to see the feedback, you know, double-edged sword.
I don't know, yo. I just be feeling like, all right, yo, like, he's very successful, right? He's very successful. He has love in his life. These is not real people. Like, these people can't, like, no, for real. Like, I need motherfuckers to understand this shit. These are not real people. Like, you feel the push because niggas is leaving comments about your album and they saying they trying to get on you for loving your wife. If you love your wife, what the fuck you need to explain to anybody else why? Like, you had her before any of this shit existed. You don't go to bed with these people at night. Like, I just don't like to see people affected by shit like this, because while I do understand that the internet is a real thing, I grew up in a time where me and my friends got on bikes and we rode around. That's how we communicated with each other. Everybody didn't have a phone. You know what I mean? We couldn't just FaceTime and none of that shit. So when I see this, I'm just like, come on, my nigga. Like, you gotta be, he has 2 kids now, right? You got one on the way?
Yeah, one is on the way.
Yeah, fuck that.
He's about to go on tour, and there's definitely gonna be a lot of love. A lot of people won't say this shit to your face. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate, though, that he feels this bad about it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, come on, my nigga. Like, I just don't want, I mean, I'm not his boss or nothing to him, but I'm just saying, like, don't feel no pressure. You can't feel no pressure. People gonna be critical about the album because a lot of people just don't like it. And that's fine, but like, don't feel no way about yourself or what you got going on because people is writing words on a fucking app. Like, come on, yo.
Tell him, Wayno.
Toughen up, Chance. I don't know. I think he wrote this for sympathy. Again, I think he kind of gave that disclaimer or the bailout at the end of the series of tweets by basically saying, this ain't really what I'm thinking, I just wanted to tweet it out. So it's not like we're thinking he's suicidal here, so we don't really have to treat this with too much, even though, you know, we do have to consider internet bullying and mental health and all that. But I think he just has to toughen up. The reception he wanted from the album, he ain't get it. You ain't get it. Again, I was surprised he tweeted this out because I don't know what reception he thought he was going to get. The content matter, and is it right? Listen, hip-hop celebrates the niggas that rap about the most gruesome shit. Everybody who raps about dealing drugs, want to kill people, fantasizing about just womanizing, that's what hip-hop be celebrating. Nigga, you come in this shit, you try to, oh, I love my wife, I'm riding bikes, I'm on swings. Niggas don't want to hear that shit.
There's people who want to hear that, though. I mean, he does have a fan base of people who do want to hear that, though.
But he's not comfortable with that. Clearly, he's not. If he's comfortable with that, he wouldn't care about this. Because, you know, it's no surprise that some people are going to be critical about the content. You literally made a song to say, man, fuck all these side bitches and side niggas. That's not cool. Very bold. But you have to realize with hip-hop and the culture that really praises like that type of shit, they're gonna look at you like, oh shit, this nigga's he's trying to like bring it back in a day or something. So again, I was surprised he tweeted this out. I don't know if maybe he'll get to a realization where he speaks on this. I do think he will though, and be a little bit more clearer. I think he felt a certain type of way because NF outsold him. By the way, NF used to be a Christian rapper. Chance dropped more of a Christian album than a guy who used to be a Christian rapper. You get me? So NF came in the game as a Christian rapper when they realized, shoot, we don't want to just like pigeonhole you. Let's kind of open up the brand. He started rapping about more stuff. I think that guy, NF, he still doesn't curse. Chance the Rapper album, a lot of people see it as preachy, but still there was expectations. Remember I said I was a little bit disappointed in the sales? There's expectations of Chance to kind of be one of the bigger debuts that hit the culture. Like, again, I know...
He still sold 108,000 though. I mean, is he just not comfortable with being number 2? I've never been number 1 at anything. So I'm cool with, like for real, I'm just keeping it all the way real. Like, I've never been number 1 at a lot of things. So I'm just saying, like, it just seems like he's not cool with being number 2.
I think he's not cool with, especially his debut album, not being accepted in the culture. It was ridiculed, it was laughed at this weekend. And when you compare it to someone else like Cordae, who's not selling as well as him, if I'm Cordae, I go to sleep really well. You know why? Because everybody who gave my album to listen, and people within the culture, they fucked with my shit.
Yeah.
And Chance the Rapper, it felt like I saw a lot of people celebrating him being number 2 because they kind of wanted to fail, even though I don't think him being number 2 is a failure. But I think, honestly, he has to figure out what does he want. If the content you're making makes you happy, you can't want that content to be accepted by everyone if it's not something that the mainstream audience wants.
I'm confused, man.
So it's up to him. It's up to him, you know? So, like, I think you got to toughen up. You got to toughen up. Like, you can't have it all.
Buck up, Bart.
You get me? So, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Come on, my nigga. Like, come on. Get it together. Or leave it alone.
All right, shall we do big facts or BS?
Yes.
I'm sure this album's going to continue to do well. Chance, you're going to have a good time on tour, and it'll be like none of this ever happened, hopefully. All right, so today, big facts or BS is courtesy of YK Osiris.
I want y'all to understand, signing to a bigger artist that's not going to make you big. If you trash, you going to be trash. If you roll, you roll. Stop depending on people. They can't get you big. Really, they don't want you bigger than them.
Big facts or BS?
BS. Because there's tons of examples of artists signing to other artists that become bigger artists.
Even if you're quote unquote trash, not a word I would really use.
Well, trash is, I mean, the thing is like, I think that like how he started the conversation and where he kind of took it is 2 different things. Because like him saying you trash, that has nothing to do with signing with a bigger artist. Like, Drake signed with Wayne. Drake ended up becoming bigger than Wayne. Kanye signed with Rockefeller. He ended up becoming bigger than Rockefeller as a whole. Meek signed with Ross. I'm pretty sure we consider Meek a bigger artist than Ross at this point.
Right. Okay, so how about this? Can a super lukewarm artist sign with a bigger artist and become super big? Maybe it's this point versus someone who's already hyper talented and you're just getting that extra.
I mean, I think that's all dependent upon the work you put in. The thing is that he should have relayed the message that he could have relayed is like signing with an artist does not ensure you success. If you sign with an artist that believes in you and wants to push you, that shit does help. But you have to put your own work in as well as like let them, yeah, they can sprinkle some shit on there, but you got to put your work in yourself. You can't look at it like, all right, I got this opportunity, what y'all niggas gonna do for me? If you take that approach, then of course you're not gonna, but that has nothing to do with if you trash, you trash. Like, if you trash, like, that's a whole different conversation. So I say BS.
Half BS, half facts. I'm still trying to figure out who the fuck he was sending shots at. Usually these niggas are sending shots.
Oh, that's what you're over there contemplating.
Yeah. But in reality, it depends on what artist you're signing to, right? Like if you sign to, and for the purpose of this conversation, we'll consider him an artist, even though he really is an artist. If you sign to DJ Khaled don't give two fucks about nobody but himself. So the fuck are you gonna think you're gonna succeed signing DJ Khaled?
Don't say that he don't give a fuck about nobody but himself, bro. That's a bit.
Name me some success stories.
Listen,
I could name you. Unless you're Assad, you're not really popping off being signed to.
Yeah, but did you see what I mean when you seen what Ace Hood said about being signed to We the Best when he said he started with Khaled? Yeah, a lot of things he was confused about and thought should happen just because he was signed to Khaled. You know what I mean? And then when he found his own hit, that didn't stop him from having success. But you can't just say he don't give a fuck about nobody. I don't think that's the case at all.
Well, I mean, it's also been documented where artists who have been with him felt like when he had an opportunity to take the forefront, he kind of left them behind. So again, it all depends. And I could contrast his approach with Ross. Ross, when he has a spotlight, he passes the ball a lot. You get me? He's not just saying, I'm going to bask in my moment as long as I can until it's dried up. And then after that, let's see what y'all got going on. So I do think it's about a different approach. But I also do think it's a good thing when you do sign to the right artists. Like, a lot of them street rappers out of Memphis who signed to G.O.A.T, I think Gotti got a lane for that shit. And when Gotti co-signs you and you're coming up in that lane and his audience already, which is a certain type of audience, gives you an ear, yeah, it helps accelerate your career. You get me? I was thinking of another artist. Shit, like Meek got a lane. You feel me? Like, God rest his dead, but if Lil Snoop had really materialized, I thought that would have helped Snoop. Just because that's a lane of music that you're already gonna do, and because that person is really dominant and also has a significant portion of that audience, is gonna help you get some ears. Now, if you're trash, there's nothing that can help you. Whether signed to a big artist, whether getting a record deal, again, we could fake it for a little bit, but it won't really help you.
It depends on what you're trying to get out of the situation as well, because it's like, okay, I look at Mike Will, right? Like Ray Shrummer, when I first heard them, everybody thought that they'd be, let me not say everybody, a lot of people thought they'd be done after No Flex Zone. They end up being like one of the groups that have coasted within this decade of music. So, but that's Ray Shrummer being a music guy, creating music with and for them, right? I think with like, when you think of a person like a Khaled or in comparison to a Ross, Ross is a rapper. So it's not like Khaled is a cosign, but it's not like he's rapping on songs next to you, right? Which I don't think that it's good to maybe put your brand new artist immediately on a song with Chris Brown and Justin Bieber, because they could get drowned out as well. And I'm just hypothetically speaking, I don't know any scenarios. I'm just thinking about if I was Khaled, I'm not gonna put my brand new artist, like I'm gonna try to let them stand alone, because I don't wanna put them on the fucking single with Lil Baby, because that might make them not listen to him, because they just want to hear the Lil Baby's verse or Meek's verse, whomever's on the song.
But then the right placement could work, right? What's the song from the Dreamville compilation? Is it Loot? Loot that we had?
Yeah,
that,
the
like,
with the
he
Baby
had right, and then
yeah.
that's a great song. Kendrick's on it, whatever, and then he decided that he had the best verse on it. So it could
Right.
work, right? It's
could
just like
work.
the right placement. And Khaled is like the king of assembling those tracks. So
It just depends on what creative you're dealing with. I think like with J. Cole and them, of course, they're more centered around music and rapping and art in that space. Like Khaled is all single driven. So if you don't have your own single, don't sign over there. You know what I mean? Like if you have your own single and your own plan, but don't sign over there thinking that, don't sign to anybody. If you can't make hit records, and Glasses Malone just said this shit, if you can't make hit records, you shouldn't sign to a record label because that's the business that you become a part of. Now, if you can, then you have to make hit records and then figure out your lane and your space in there. But it doesn't matter who you sign to. You know what I mean? You still got to do you no matter what.
I don't know if it's if you can't make hit records, if you can't sell records.
I mean, you got to...
Because I listen to Corday's project is a very big example. I don't think there's a bona fide like hit record on there. There's records that could be worked that would probably be successful, but I think it's just overall a good project, and it's gonna sell because it's a great showcase of skills, a good body of work.
Right.
On the flip side, there's niggas who don't rap that well that need to make hit records.
No,
You get me?
absolutely. So I think it's subjective to like the space, right? Like, okay, Griselda, do they have a fucking bona fide hit record? No. Are they selling out shows and selling out tons of merch? Yeah. So I think it's like you got to pick your space on where you want to be. Now, I mean, like if you, what I meant about the hit record thing, if you're trying to be that type of artist, like if you're trying to be that type of artist where you're going to compete in the space of going to radio and having fucking a billion Spotify streams and all of that shit, then you got to learn that skill set. If your thing is the art, like with Corday, I feel like Corday is, not to compare him to Cole, but it's like the same shit we seen with Cole. Everybody wanted Cole to find a hit record. Yo, where's Cole's record? Remember, he thought Who That was going to be the record? Cole ended up finding records within the music that he was making. I think Corday is going to do the same shit. I think Corday is going to find his hit records within the music that he's making, but he's going to be a catalog, like, driven artist. You're going to look up in a year or two from now, you're going to be like, damn, I didn't know he had all these records. And they're going to be hits when you go to his shows, so.
Yeah, I mean...
we done took a turn for the conversation.
You should caution yourself signing to like either a DJ or like an artist, but I don't think it's necessarily always bad.
Okay.
And also, I think, you know, YK Osiris is probably speaking from experience or throwing shots at some other nigga that we don't know who.
Right.
All right, gentlemen, thank you for the deep debate. Let's end real quick with this Kanye story. This won't take very long. Sorry, Roger. So last week, TMZ revealed like some photos of the prototype of Kanye's new Yeezy Star Wars themed homes. I think Wayno's gonna cop one of these. 50 feet high, prefabricated wooden dome structures constructed on 300 acres that he purchased in Calabasas.
While I'm a
You already put your down payment, or?
While I'm a very, very big Star Wars fan and I love the idea of this shit ain't for me. Like, not for real. This is, I'm not investing in a home by a nigga who made white tees for
But yo, your electricity bill is gonna be fine. You're not gonna run it up in one of these
That's
little
the first thing I think. Like, the water
shit.
bill on that shit is
man.
gonna be insane. But I mean, that's cool. Like, I would love to see how it looks. I would love to see how it looks because I'm a big Star Wars fan. So.
We know stuff ain't getting one of these.
I get enough money.
I'm not knocking it. Apparently, Yeezy is a billion-dollar company at this point, and large in part to Kanye's weird design vision and shit like that. Hey, listen, if Apple could fucking build like a little donut-shaped like headquarters and niggas is rocking with it, well, I ain't gonna hate on Kanye because he want to build some Star Wars shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kanye. Again. This is some California, like all these little companies, like they get so much money, they're like, let's build some fuckery.
Yeah, let's build some shit.
Let's build some fuckery.
The niggas that got money that don't need it need to spend on.
Yeah, and they usually think they're so design and technologically like advanced, they have to like showcase it with some obnoxious shit. I'm not mad at it. I'm just hoping he keeps it up in terms of the brand.
Love yours.
Love yours.
Love yours.
I like that. That's a great ending. No, love yours. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you here tomorrow on on The Struggle.
On The Struggle.
We'll see you on The Struggle.
Name or something?